wrestling fans, welcome back to the Nation Network Saturday morning Superstars of Wrestling. And we kick things off with Pat Patterson, the man who just recently had a one-on-one match with the Intercontinental Champion in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Came up on the short end of the stick against Tito Santana, but oh boy, what a match those two had.
Well, it was a tremendous match, and I believe Patterson might have gotten screwed a little bit there. I just like the officiating being very one-sided, it appears to me.
Patterson going up against Barry Horowitz here, and what a great morning of wrestling we've got in line for you fans here tonight. Notwithstanding, the man right next to me now, Jesse the Body Ventura, you're going to be in our main event.
Oh, that's right. You're going to have to hold down the fort somehow if you can, because I won't be here to carry you for that one. But the tag team titles, as we promised a week ago, will be on the line here tonight.
Indeed, the Body, along with superstar Billy Graham, the Venice Beach Blondes, in action to defend the tag team titles against S.T. Jones and Tavish New. Not exactly the top-tier talent we'd like to see the tag team champions defending against.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, we're putting the titles on the line here on Saturday morning television. You normally have to pay big money to see champions defending their title. We're giving it to you free right here. And I think S.T. Jones and Tavish Noon have owned their own opportunities.
I'm not taking anything away from those two men, but to say that they are in the same caliber as perhaps Demolition or the Hart Foundation, for example, I don't think that would be a fair assessment.
Well, everyone will have their chance in due time. Superstar Billy Graham and I, we're not going anywhere.
Patterson right now trying to get back into the winning ways that he was in early on in the last several weeks. He closed out the year with a lot of victories until he started this one out going up against Tito Santana. And as we said earlier, that did not work out so well for Mr. Patterson, trying to reclaim the Intercontinental Championship.
Well, even a wily veteran like Pat Patterson continues to learn from his losses, and I'm sure he'll be much better for it. And I think he'll get another opportunity down the line at Chico Santana, the Intercontinental title, and I wouldn't be surprised if he takes it from him on that meeting.
Well, we've got a tremendous matchup here going on as Barry Horowitz has applied that side headlock and really grinding it out on Pat Patterson. Oh, what a move right there by Horowitz, throwing Patterson across the ring. Fans not really enjoying either of these two men. They are both considered to be on the side of the I guess you'd call them the bad guys.
Well, they're not fan favorites is what I think you're trying to say, and that's just the way it is. They're not, neither one of these dudes is worried about that. They all want to win, and they'll do anything it takes to get the win. And that'll be the same thing you're going to see throughout the entire day when it comes to pro wrestling. You're certainly going to see it in the main event. I can promise you that.
Horowitz going for the cover on Pat Patterson in a one count. What kind of a victory would this be for Barry Horowitz to score a win over the former Intercontinental Champion?
Well, this would be a huge win, and Horowitz has proven in the past he can pull out an upset or two. I would not be shocked at all if he were to find a way to win this match.
From the top rope now, Mr. Horowitz. What has he got in mind as he's waiting for Patterson to get back up, and he does. Oh, missile drop kick. Caught him with that one. Got the full attention of Pat Patterson on that drop kick. I tell you what, you can feel that in the cheap seats.
Not only could you feel it there, he almost sent Patterson flying there.
And now Horowitz trying to get a submission, it appears, as he's working the arm of Pat Patterson, and Patterson doesn't look too happy about things.
Well, I've got a feeling that on paper, Patterson thought he was going to have a relatively easy time here this morning, and that's not the way things are turning out.
Drops that leg down across the throat. Fans, the television title will be on the line later tonight as well. Nice move by Patterson, going for the cover off of that belly-to-belly style suplex. He got two and almost put him away. We also have another very special matchup. The Superfly Jimmy Snuka will be in action in a handicap match. More on that a little later on. Patterson now choking him out in the corner. Look at this. Where's the referee?
Well, he's got 5 seconds to do the damage, and he took advantage of all 5 seconds. You can't blame him for that.
Patterson waiting for him to get back up, and he does. And now what? Tremendous suplex into a bridge. Look at this. There's a 2 count and make it 3. Pat Patterson with a very impressive victory here, rebounding from the loss in Philadelphia.
Well, he did what he had to do, and he did it really well, and it worked out for him. So kudos to Pat Patterson, who's right back into the win-loss record where he wants to be.
That side slam, a bit of a jiu-jitsu throw. Very effective move from Pat Patterson. Almost got him the victory there. And then a few moments later, after all this going on in the corner, the chicanery, that the referee really allowed a lot of that to slide. But watch this move right here as he ties him up. Captures Horowitz into a nice bridging suplex and puts him down for the 1-2-3. Big victory for that man, Pat Patterson. We'll be back with more action right here on Saturday Morning Superstars in just a moment.
How can I get muscles like you guys? Wow, Mr. Wonderful!
You can start by getting in shape with the Hulkamania workout set.
Great!
It's got everything you need. Head and wristband, a jump rope for warming up, a hand gripper for power, dumbbells for strength, an exercise poster, and even Hulk's own workout tape.
The Hulkamania workout set. You from LJN.
Are you in shape yet?
Yeah!
Oh!
All right, fans, we are back ready for more action here on Saturday Morning Superstars of Wrestling. The best of the World Wrestling Federation as we bring it to you each and every week here on the Nation Network.
Weighing in at 270 pounds.
Mr. Fuji making his way down the aisle. It's been a little while since we've seen Fuji in the ring. I was talking to him earlier on tonight, and he's made it very clear that he's got other things in mind right now, that he's talking about bringing in a tag team partner in particular. I'd be very curious to see what he has in mind for that.
I'm sure you would be, as that would be a major concern, I would think, to you and Superstar Billy Graham.
Well, it would be to a certain degree. I mean, we want to always know what the tag team division looks like, obviously, when you're the champions. But we've got a pretty good relationship with Fuji, and I'm pretty sure we wouldn't let that get in our way. There's other things they can do when it comes to tag team wrestling. But there'll be their day and their time if they're good enough, and I'm sure that knowing Fuji's not going to pick some slouch for a tag team partner.
Do you have any ideas who it might be?
No, honestly, I don't, and he wasn't sharing that, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't either in his position.
Here comes his opponent, the Junkyard Dog, and this crowd on its feet.
180 pounds. Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, we talk about the action that's taking place here in the World Wrestling Federation earlier this week. The Philadelphia Spectrum was ground zero for the World Wrestling Federation. Some major matches. Junkyard Dog found himself in a battle royal.
Well, he was in the battle royal, but he came up short.
Of course, one of the big matches everybody's still talking about. Andre the Giant defending the heavyweight championship against the incredible Hulk Hogan. Still nothing settled there.
Well, I disagree. Andre the Giant scored the victory over Chump Hogan. In my opinion, that means he can move on.
Yeah, well, it was a count-out victory for Andre, and Hulk Hogan had a count-out victory earlier on as well at Madison Square Garden. So if we're looking at that, it's a 1-1.
Well, to me, what that says is Hogan had 2 title matches and couldn't get the job done. How many chances are you going to give someone?
I say we let these guys figure it out. Get them in a match where there has to be a winner. No more of the countouts. Fuji now backing the Junkyard Dog into the corner. Is the referee going to try and step in between and break these two up? Oh, the JYD taking umbrage apparently with Mr. Fuji as he hits him with a boot right to the midsection.
Well, it's a bit of a cheap shot right there by the JYD, but of course that's one of your favorites, so you won't mention that.
Fuji now back to the tie-up and now has the JYD up and slams the dog down in the middle of the mat. Look at Fuji going to work, hammering away on the temple of the Junkyard Dog.
Well, I know the JYD likes to think that inside the ring is the doghouse. But what he needs to realize is if he steps in there with me, he's in my house.
I can think about a lot of men that could team up with a Junkyard Dog and give you and Superstar Billy Graham a run for your money. What's going on here is Fuji now has moved this out to the apron. What is he going to do? No, don't do that. Oh, my goodness. What in the world?
Well, that's going to be it for the Junkyard Dog.
Fuji off the apron, pile driving the Junkyard Dog on the floor. Have you ever?
Well, I don't imagine how the Junkyard Dog is possibly going to come back from this.
Fuji trying to get a submission by pulling back on that injured neck, and now the dog fighting back somehow. Where's he getting this from?
Well, the one thing I will say for the Junkyard Dog, just take a look at him, the way he's put together. He's got a very thick neck area. That's the only reason he's still standing, in my opinion.
Fuji again tying up with the JYD. Down across the knee with a backbreaker. Well done. Went for the shot to the midsection. JYD says, I don't think so. And now the atomic knee drop. He's got Fuji. Referee is in the way. Come on, referee, get out of that corner.
Well, what have I said? Time and time again, these officials don't know how to get out of their own way.
And there's the bump of the Junkyard Dog. There's a count of 1. There's 2. And Fuji able to kick out. Shot to the midsection. Fuji caught him and then follows it up with a tremendous clothesline. Nice clothesline by Fuji. Later on, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, the TV title will, in fact, be defended as well. 2 titles on the line here today.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan going to be going up against Steve Lombardi, and I happen to know a little something.
About what?
Well, I'm not going to tell you. All I'm going to tell you is I think we're going to have a new television champion here tonight. How's that?
Well, knowing you, it's hard to tell what you know and what you don't know. Either way, that is going to be a match that I am looking forward to seeing tonight. Lombardi's done very well for himself in recent weeks. Maybe has some strong wins together to back it up, but definitely has been very competitive against top name talent. Fuji now hits the ropes. There's the bonsai. Will that be enough to score Fuji a big victory here on Saturday morning? He got 2.
Fuji's looking pretty good right now, I got to admit it, as he rakes the back of the Junkyard Dog. Depending who he might find as a tag team partner, and he's been a tag team champion in the past, maybe he's going to bring back Mr. Saito.
Fuji choking him out in the corner now. The Junkyard Dog struggling just to get air. Talk about a Pearl Harbor. And now the JYD with a small package rolls him up. There's the count of one. And Fuji out the back.
JYD looking a little bit desperate to me right now.
Clubbing forearms across the forehead of Fuji, and the JYD fighting back. And he is mad right now.
I don't think I've ever seen him angry like this. Well, he should be angry. He's getting humiliated by a man who's definitely seen his better days.
Fuji has been busted open, and now the Crimson Mask starting to take over. Into the steel post. Fuji is in trouble. JYD continues to go to work on him. Well, the tide has definitely turned in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the headbutt. He won't let him go down. Another one, and the JYD continues as he targets that injured head and that open wound on Fuji. There's a scoop, and here comes a slam. Referee slides into position. There's a count of one, there's two, and Fuji is defeated by the Junkyard Dog.
Well, Fuji was doing pretty well for the most part until...
Well, let's take a look at what went on here. One of the many slams Fuji was on the receiving end of, and we know that the Junkyard Dog, he has one heck of a power slam, and there's one of them.
Well, Fuji might have done himself better just to have accepted the loss on that one, but he's a true fighter. He is a warrior. He's got that Japanese style and that spirit running through him. He's never going to give up.
There was the bonsai. Thought it was all over. So close to a victory was Fuji, and that would have been a big one.
Well, it would have been. But look at here. The JYD wouldn't let him fall. Every time he was down, he pulled him right back up and hit him with three big headbutts right to the open wound on the head of Fuji.
And here again, they call it the bump. Driving the body into the canvas.
And driving the life right out of the body.
Here is your winner, Junkyard Dog.
What an impressive victory for that man right there, the Junkyard Dog. Fans will be back with plenty more action still to come here on Saturday Morning Superstars handicap match when we return.
Come on, you guys. It's only a little. A hungry giant.
Hungry for a big honey taste.
Big taste, honeycomb, big taste.
Honeycomb fish. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not small.
No, no, no. Honeycomb's got a big honey taste. Big, big crunch or a big, big bite.
Honeycomb cereal, part of this big, complete breakfast.
Honeycomb's a big, big bite. Yeah!
All right, fans, we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, recently we were in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was the Philadelphia Spectrum, and one of the matches that took place was Bret the Hitman Hart going one-on-one with Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Well, we say one-on-one, but what happened, those that were there know, and if you weren't, we've got some videotape to share with you.
Well, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Jimmy, the mouth of the South Hart, weighs about 170 pounds on a good day. He is not that big of an effect on the outcome of a match.
Well, let's take a look at the videotape. This is what happened in the Philadelphia Spectrum just days ago. And I do believe, and Superfly Jimmy Snuka believes, that gave an unfair advantage to the Hitman. So tonight, what we're going to have for you is a special handicap match. The Superfly Jimmy Snuka going up against Bret the Hitman Hart, and Jimmy Hart will be an actual competitor here.
Well, I think that's absolutely atrocious. Jimmy Hart should not have to do that. He is not a wrestler. He's not meant to be a wrestler. And I think this is a travesty all the way around. But if Bret the Hitman Hart is smart, he will just do the wrestling and leave Jimmy Hart on the apron.
Fans, let's head to the ring and find out exactly what's going to happen.
The following is a handicap match. Introducing first, from Suva, Fiji, weighing in at 235 pounds, Jimmy Snuka!
Superfly heading down to the ring, and boy, oh boy, he is ready for this one.
Well, he might be ready for it, but I'll tell you what. With any luck whatsoever, the Hitman will just do exactly what he did in Pennsylvania a couple of nights ago, and he'll put him away 1, 2, 3. Jimmy Hart can watch all the action from the ringside apron and doesn't have to get involved in the match.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Representing the Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart. Where is Jimmy Hart?
Well, maybe something came up. Maybe he may have twisted an ankle putting his boots on or something. Who knows?
No, no, no. He's not going to get out of this one. He has got to compete here tonight.
This could be a psychological ploy just to try and get under the skin of the Superfly Jimmy Snuka. I don't know that I would try psychological ploys with a guy who has very limited brain power to begin with, but
the Hitman Bret Hart in the ring. Superfly Jimmy Snuka is here. And where is Jimmy Hart? Oh, wait. Oh, here he comes. Are you kidding me? What in the world?
well, he's all ready to go, and I'll tell you, I think he's believing in himself, and good for him.
The mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. I can't believe what I am seeing.
I believe that's Jimmy Hart singing his own music, too. You know, he used to sing for the Gentrys.
It'd be hard not to know it. He tells anyone that'll listen. Well, he's got a lot of show. Let's see if he can go. Oh, give me a break. You've got to be kidding me. The mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. You better be real careful because you're getting the ire raised of Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Well, I have to admit, I'm taking a look right now, and Snuka's got a look in his eyes, and Jimmy Hart better be careful because if Snuka gets his hands on him, he might be twice the manager he was when the match started because he might be in more than one piece.
Oh, Snuka's ready to go. Looking across the ring. Look at Jimmy Hart telling Bret the Hitman, go get him. Oh, flying drop kick by the Superfly. Going to work on the Hitman early on. Looking for some retribution for what happened a few days ago. The dust from the Spectrum hasn't settled yet on this one. Irish whip to the ropes. Snuka with a nice drop down. Leapfrog, well done. And a deep arm drag. The Superfly with a fist to the head, and the Hitman's been busted open.
Well, things not going very well for the team of Bret Hart and Jimmy Hart.
Snuka charging into the clothesline, and now the Hitman is in desperate situation. He has no choice but to make the tag, and here comes Jimmy Hart. Superfly Jimmy Snuka gonna get exactly what he wanted. A chance to get his hands on Jimmy Hart. There's the headbutt. Oh, and he won't let him go down either.
Well, we saw that earlier on from the Junkyard Dog. Now we're seeing it from Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Snuka goes for the cover, hooks the leg, and the Hitman from the apron watching on. Somehow Jimmy Hart able to kick out of that one. Jimmy Hart goes for Snuka. Oh, look at this, he chopped. No effect on the Superfly.
Well, yeah, like I said, he's a 170-pound manager. Congratulations.
Oh, Snuka with a belly-to-back suplex. Has him up in the air now, Superfly. Samoan drop. And the Hitman just got sent crashing to the floor. As Jimmy Hart up in the air, cross knee backbreaker, might be all she wrote. Goes for the cover, hooks the leg. There's one, there's two. Jimmy Hart not done yet. And he caught him with a nice jawbreaker. And now Jimmy Hart with a boot and drops Snuka down head first.
Well, I tell you what, anything can happen, right?
Jimmy Hart with a right hand, and now he's going to go to make the tag to the Hitman. Bret the Hitman Hart comes in, ties up, and now the Superfly. Big boot right to the head. Snuka in control once again, and Bret the Hitman Hart better watch out. Oh, inverted atomic knee drop. Went for the drop kick, came up short, then Snuka. The Hitman tries for the scoop slam. What a chop.
Well, Superfly right now is definitely in control of this one. And this is definitely personal. You can feel it.
Snuka was not happy with the way things turned out. Look at those chops. He is really lighting them up. Oh, from behind the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. And now look at his abdominal stretch by the Hitman. The excellence of execution. Gonna try and pull one out. Nice move, and a hip toss gets himself out of trouble. The Hitman tied up on the ropes now, and the Superfly. Irish whips him in. Leapfrog by Snuka. Another one. And the back elbow chop. Oh, look at this. The Hitman right back up.
Where in the world he got that from, I'll never know.
They collide, and now Snuka has got Bret Hart in trouble, sends him into the corner. Jimmy Hart looks right at him and does not want to make the tag. Look at this, eye to eye, and now Snuka brings Jimmy Hart in the hard way.
Well, what's that all about? He's not even the legal man.
Not a good day for the Hart Foundation tonight, Snuka. This time he was ready. Russian leg sweep. And the Superfly says to get up. Went for the drop kick, and the Hitman manages to sidestep that one. Oh, what a move right there by Superfly Jimmy Snuka. who hits the ropes now. Went for the big elbow, nobody home.
Well, normally I would say Bret Hart should be making the tag, but you really don't want to tag in Jimmy Hart, especially right now.
Hitman into the corner, and again, Jimmy Hart just staring at Snuka. He does not want any part of this. Snuka waiting to see what happens here. The Hitman with a shot to the midsection. Has him up in the air. Snuka unloads with some heavy right hands. And there's that drop kick one more time.
Well, Superfly right now is definitely feeling it. He's in control of the match, and he's aware of that completely.
And again, going to work with the headbutts is Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Snuka headed out to the apron momentarily, and again staring a hole through Jimmy Hart. Into the turnbuckle he goes, and now the Superfly comes charging in with another devastating clothesline. Oh, and he just tattooed Jimmy Hart with a big right hand.
Well, again, he's a manager normally, and he's on the apron. He's not doing anything. Why do you got to put your hands on him? He's just being a big bully, in my opinion.
Jimmy Hart has got to learn a lesson. There's a tag made by the Hitman. Now a double team, wide open Snuka. And Jimmy Hart getting a shot in there. Goes for the cover. Don't let it end like this.
Well, Jimmy Hart took advantage of the 2-on-1. Look at this.
Jimmy Hart with a scoop slam. He went for the leg drop. Nobody was home. The Hitman, Bret Hart, is down. Jimmy Hart is down. And the Superfly going to the top rope. This could be all she wrote. Save made by the Hitman. Snuka going up one more time. Oh, that's twice. There's no way Jimmy Hart's going to kick out of this.
Well, the Hitman might not have done his manager much good by helping him, or by making the save, I should say, on that first pin attempt, because he only made him suffer a second one.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka getting revenge against the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, here on Saturday Morning Superstars of Wrestling, and I think it'll be a long time before we see him get back in the squared circle.
It might be a long time before we see him anywhere around the squared circle.
He might very well have some cracked or broken ribs. Not one Superfly swat, but two. Look at the highlights here. Snuka, such an athlete. He and the Hitman Bret Hart. That is a tremendous one-on-one match all by itself. Look at Jimmy Hart right here. Thought he had it. Snuka off the top rope. There was a save by the Hitman Bret Hart, but as you mentioned, it only allowed him to do it again. And that's all she wrote from the mouth of the South. Jimmy Hart. Might be a while before we see him around. We'll be back with the television title on the line, and still to come, the tag team titles. Stay with us.
With Wrestling Superstars, it's like having a real match right in your own home. There's Jimmy Superfly Snuka, the Iron Sheik, Hulk Hogan, and Big John Studd. And now you can fly 'em and flip 'em in the Sling 'em Wrestling Ring. Wrestling Superstars and New Wrestling Ring, each sold separately from LJN.
The following
All right, the first of two championship title matches we have for you here this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a moment.
Well, what did I tell you?
Steve Lombardi is being accompanied by Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Well, Heenan's been talking to me about this guy, and he really sees something in him. And right now, that's not Steve Lombardi anymore. Now, he is the Brooklyn Brawler.
The Brooklyn Brawler, you gotta be kidding me.
Heenan's got him buying into it. He's got him believing in himself. And tonight, I think we might see a brand new television champion. Don't be surprised if it happens.
I'm already surprised just to see Bobby the Brain Heenan in the corner of the Brooklyn Brawler. I've seen it all. Well, here comes the television champion, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Coming off of another big title defense in Pennsylvania, Hacksaw Jim Duggan has been a fighting television champion. On numerous occasions, he has waived the 10-minute time limit rule, including here tonight, as a matter of fact. In the past, we've seen TV champions that have perhaps hidden behind the 10-minute time limit, knowing that they can avoid a pinfall that long just to retain the title.
Well, the TV title was always meant to be on a short time limit based on the fact that it's TV time. I think personally that it should be kept to a 10-minute time limit. It makes it something unique unto itself. That said, Duggan has the right as a champion to waive that, and he did it here again tonight.
From the Bronx, New York, weighing in at 248 pounds, Steve
The Brooklyn Brawler. Unbelievable.
And his opponent from Glens Falls, New York, weighing in at 270 pounds, the World Wrestling Television Champion, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Well, Hacksaw Jim Duggan has been a tremendous television champion. I don't imagine it's going to end here tonight, but if it does, he has nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, I'll agree with you on the fact he has nothing to be ashamed of because the Brooklyn Brawler is legit. And if he weren't, Bobby the Brain Heenan wouldn't be supporting him. Now, this is also the first time that Heenan's been in his corner, so let's see. I mean, if Heenan finds a way to pull out a win for his man here tonight, in the first ever time they've teamed together, that really tells me Bobby is truly the Brain. Not that I doubt it.
Well, I think a lot of people would have to accept that, whether you like it or not. If Bobby the Brain Heenan can take the Brooklyn Brawler and put that television title in his stable, as it were, that would be massive. And right now, the Brooklyn Brawler living up to his name as he is absolutely stomping away on the television champion right now.
Normally, I wouldn't necessarily suggest this style because Duggan can brawl with the best of them as well, but it's the Brooklyn Brawler, and I think that's what he needs to do.
Well, that's exactly what he is doing. Unloading with a series of lefts now, down across the head of the champion. Goes for the cover. Oh, and he's using the ropes. Bobby the Brain Heenan, you know he played a role in that.
Of course he did. He's the Brain. Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
Well, speaking of which, what is Bobby Heenan doing now? Removing the turnbuckle pad. Heenan cheering his man on from ringside. Hacksaw Jim Duggan trying to get back in control on this matchup. Backs the Brawler into the corner. Referee looking for a clean break here. We'll see if we can get one or not. Of course not. The Brooklyn Brawler with a boot to the midsection. And now small package by the champion. The shoulders are down. Only going to get a 1 count.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan looking a little bit desperate to me.
Elbow right to the head, and now the champion back in control. And Heenan not as happy right now with what he's seeing. What is Bobby Heenan doing? He just threw a sledgehammer into the ring. What is he thinking? What is he thinking?
Well, again, it's distracting the referee, and that might be what he's trying to do, is to buy his man a little bit of time. Obviously, if you use that sledgehammer, you'll be disqualified, and that's not going to help him in any way.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Brooklyn Brawler right now battling it out for that television title here on Saturday Morning Superstars of Wrestling. Fans, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Help us grow the nation. We're on our way to 3K. And into the steel post. Oh, that one got him. The Brooklyn Brawler down across the back. And that's another one. They tie up. And first into the turnbuckle, and now Lombardi going to work on the arm. Scoops him up in the air. There's a slam. Look at this, right back up, Duggan. Oh, Lombardi, he missed it.
Yeah, it looked like he went for a neck breaker and it didn't catch it well, but he definitely did some damage to Duggan, though. They collided. They may have banged heads together the way it looked.
Look at this. Hacksaw Duggan with a power slam. And now the Brawler in trouble. What's Duggan got in mind here? Off the ropes. Oh, big axe handle to the head. Lombardi going to have to get himself back up and into this fight.
Well, right now the champion is back in control again, but I'm not too worried about it because the Brooklyn Brawler has shown he can take a lot of punishment and keep on going.
There's a 2 count, and oh, that was almost it. Duggan has a surprise look on his face. Bobby the Brain Heenan has a concerned look as he's getting into it with the ringsiders. The Brawler lifting a boot right to the face of the champion. And now has him up in the air. What's he going to do with Duggan? Drops him throat first across the top rope, and now the Brooklyn Brawler is in control.
Well, that's what I was talking about. He was getting himself beat up earlier on, but he's used to the back alley brawling, and he can take a punch as good as he gives one.
Duggan back to his feet. And now the Brawler whips him to the rope. Over the top, out to the floor. Duggan out, all the action now on the floor as the Brawler living up to his name. This is a New York City mugging taking place right here, ringside. This is not professional wrestling. This is a crime in most places.
Well, the only thing he hasn't done so far is taken Duggan's wallet, but he could do that by taking the title.
Everybody clearing out as the action is exploding here ringside. Both men back in the ring just in the nick of time. And Duggan, back body drop as he looked like he might have been going for a pile driver. Lombardi, what's he got in mind? Oh, he caught him with that elbow pad. What's in that elbow pad?
What makes you think anything's in it?
Look at him, he split Duggan wide open using that elbow.
Well, first off, it was really a forearm. I don't know that he caught him with that elbow at all, but to presume there's something in that elbow pad when you have no proof of that whatsoever.
I can tell you that he hit him with one shot and busted him wide open. Duggan with a big clothesline into the corner. Has him up in the air. This could be all she wrote for the Brooklyn Brawler. Duggan drops him with that power slam, goes for the cover. There's 1, 2, and he got a shoulder up. Can you believe this?
What have I said about him? He can take a beating. He can give one out. But the Brooklyn Brawler, all he really needed was an opportunity, and tonight he's got it.
Duggan went for the clothesline, and the Brooklyn Brawler reverses it. There's a scoop and a slam by the Brooklyn Brawler. Bobby Heenan cheering his man on from ringside. Look at this. Oh, and he went for that neck breaker again and overshot the target.
That was a critical mistake, in my opinion, right there by the Brooklyn Brawler. You just opened a big door for Hacksaw Jim Duggan to walk through.
And look at this, Bobby the Brain Heenan distracting Duggan.
Well, Duggan's showing that he's not too bright a champion right now, allowing that to happen.
The blood streaming down the face of Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and now the Brooklyn Brawler has been busted open as well. Welcome to Saturday mornings, fans. Oh, Duggan going to work on that open wound on the head of the Brooklyn Brawler. From the top rope, nobody home.
Well, this has turned into a blood feud here on Saturday morning television. The Brooklyn Brawler is proving that he deserves to be here.
And again, he cannot connect with this maneuver. Whatever it is he is trying is not working.
Cross ankle sweep perfectly executed right there. Now the Brooklyn Brawler, can he put him away?
Oh, he got him that time. What a neck breaker that was. Hooks the leg. We may have a new champion right here. There's 2, and Duggan got a shoulder up.
You know what? I'll say something else right now. Hacksaw Jim Duggan right now, if he loses that title, he's going to wish he would have kept the 10-minute time limit, because I'm pretty sure we broke over that.
You might be right. If not, we're pretty darn close. The Brooklyn Brawler now from that middle rope, and again, he just can't hit it. He simply cannot do it.
Yeah, if I were Bobby the Brain Heenan, I'd be telling him to knock it off at this point in time. I mean, it's just not working tonight. Maybe take it back, work on it, iron it out, make it a little bit better.
There's 2, and he just barely missed them. Duggan is shocked right now that this match is continuing. Both of these men have given everything they've got. Duggan ties up. Has the Brawler up in the air, down with a big suplex. Double axe handle across the back. Hacksaw Jim Duggan controls this one now. Can the champion finish him off? He's got him up. Here's that tornado power slam if he can finish it up. And Duggan goes for the cover. Will he retain? Finally. But what a match it was.
Well, I'll say this much right now. The Brooklyn Brawler, in my opinion, if he would finish that move of his, he would have had the win.
Well, that is very possible. He went for it at least 3 or 4 times. I'm not sure what he was trying to do, but each and every time he missed his target. Had he hit to the point of the body, he may have been successful.
Yeah, you can see him right there going for that neck breaker, flying neck breaker, and he kind of caught him, but not flush. And then the other ones, he just completely missed.
Neither way, this was a heck of a match for the TV title, and I wouldn't mind seeing them run this back again.
No, I think everybody would be better off if we could see another one. Let them run it one more time and see what happens. Well, I've got to go get ready for my title defense.
All right, as the body departs the broadcast, we look at the closing moments of this one, and Bobby Heenan came so close to making history tonight. You gotta believe the Brooklyn Brawler is awfully close, though, to turning the page, because that was a close one.
Here's your winner, and still World Wrestling Television.
We'll be back with our main event. Stay with us.
Hey, B, no way a little dude like you is gonna change my ways.
It's time you were tempted with a taste of nuts and honey.
Hulk Hogan doesn't eat nuts and honey.
Take this. An unbeatable part of this nutritious breakfast.
That's better than a body slam.
Undefeated.
And still champion.
It's a honey of the nut. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
All right, fans, we are back ready for the main event. Joining me here in the broadcast booth, Ken Rednick. And Ken, what do you make of this main event?
Well, I'll say this much right now. We have seen Jesse the Body. We have seen Superstar Billy Graham, and they are tremendous as a tag team.
The Venice Beach Blondes, they are the tag team champions for a reason. However, we've also seen S.D. Jones and Tavish Noon, and they looked pretty good together as well. Now, are they good enough to beat the tag team champions tonight? Hey, it's wrestling. Anything can happen. Indeed, as we see Tavish Noon representing the UK, the native of England, world-traveled superstar, and here comes his tag team partner. Originally from Antilles in the West Indies, now calling Philadelphia his home, SD Special Delivery Jones.
Well, the fans love S.D. Jones. They've always had his back, and he's always appreciated it.
And what a big night it would be to give back to his fans to walk out of here today as one half of the tag team champions. It's not often we have titles on the line here on the morning program, but we're giving you two. And the opportunity to see new tag team champions crowned. Oh my goodness. It's already been one heck of a night, ladies and gentlemen. And there's the music, and here come the reigning tag team champions, and boy, oh boy, they are not well received.
The Venice Beach Blondes are not a popular team. There's no doubt about that. These fans are letting them hear it. They don't care. Jesse the Body Ventura, Superstar Billy Graham do not care about what the fans think of them as long as they're the champions.
Well, Jesse Ventura had said it over a month ago that when he and Billy Graham teamed up that they were destined to be the tag team champions, and indeed they did. Whether you like them or not, you've got to respect them because they are champions, and to get to the top is no easy trip. This crowd on hand today, and they are looking for an upset. They are going to be behind the team of S.D. Jones and Tavish Noon. You can bet on that.
Absolutely, and everybody, I think, is going to be pulling for those two. Talk about underdogs. This would have to be the biggest upset in wrestling history. I can't imagine a bigger one.
The WWE Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 490 pounds and S.D. Jones.
Tavish Noon, S.D. Jones, they are the challengers.
At a combined weight of 520 pounds, the team of Jesse Ventura and Billy Graham.
Superstar Billy Graham, Jesse Ventura putting those titles on the line here this morning. I have said it before, I'll say it again. I feel that they could have found perhaps some more deserving challengers here, people who have established themselves in the top 10 rankings, for example, of the tag team title picture, which these two gentlemen, and not to take away, have not done that.
Talk about the ultimate David and Goliath story. You've got these two guys, to your point, they're not even in the top 10, and they can walk out of here tonight as the tag team champions of the world.
Tremendous move right there by Tavish Noon. Big suplex on the body. Unloading now, Tavish Noon. Oh, wow. Full Nelson suplex, and Jesse Ventura dropped on the back of his head.
Well, I could say some things about that right now, but I will refrain and remain objective here in the broadcast position. S.D. Jones, though, is going to hand out some punishment.
Indeed, SD comes up with a big elbow drop, and now running the head of Ventura into the canvas. No love lost between Jesse the Body Ventura and SD Jones. I can tell you that right now. They are no strangers to one another. SD now going to work on the head and neck of the body. Superstar Billy Graham watching from the apron, and things not going the way of the tag team champions. And early on, one of the keys to success will always be tagging in frequently, keeping the fresh man in the ring. The challengers have done that phenomenally well. And now Ventura using the ropes just to get back up to his feet. Can you believe we're seeing this? Tavish Noon raking the eyes, taking a page out of the book of Jesse the Body, the man who says, win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
Yeah, and he'd be the first one to complain if he were to lose because of something like that.
Of course he would. Ventura now has him up, and a big slam driving Tavish Noon hard into the mat. There's the tag made, and that was a good tag to make. The timing was right. Superstar Billy Graham for the first time here tonight gets into the ring. Irish whip to the ropes. Tavish Noon with a back body drop. He felt all of that one.
Look, it's obvious that the size and strength advantage will be in the corner of the tag team champions, and we just saw Superstar Billy Graham right there with a rake of the eyes.
Well, Tavish Noon has told many a story about pub fights back in the UK, and it's anything goes in those situations. SD unloading right now with some heavy artillery. Big right hands, and now stretching out. Superstar Billy Graham caught him between the shoulder blades with one of those patented SD headbutts.
Yeah, I've talked to many men in the locker room, and nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever received a headbutt quite like the same one they get if it's from SD Jones.
We have seen SD put many a person down for the count of three following one of those cocoa butts, as he likes to refer to them. Tavish Noon now up against the rope. Superstar Billy Graham with a series of forearms right to the back. And now applying the trapezius nerve pinch is the superstar. Tavish down on his knees. The beginning of the end, perhaps. Here's a scoop up in the air. What's he going to do with him? Brings him over to the guardrail. Oh, no! Tavish Noon has been busted open on that steel rail.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised at all because I'm not. This is exactly what I expected to see out of Superstar Billy Graham and Jesse Ventura. If I am surprised about anything, it's that it took this long.
Tavish Noon here on the floor. He may not make it back in. He's done. It is a count-out victory for the tag team champions. Tavish Noon could not continue.
Yeah, he got dropped on that steel guardrail, and we might get a look at that here. And it did some serious damage.
Well, I would dare say there was a lot of serious damage done by the tag team champions. The challengers got off to a really good start, I've got to tell you. It was starting to look like they were going to pull it out here. Here we go. That was the moment. Look at him head first right on that iron rail, and he just could not get back up.
Here are your winners, and still WWE Tag Team Champions, the team of Jesse Ventura and Billy.
Fans, thanks for joining us here on Saturday Morning Superstars of Wrestling. We'll see you next week. So long and good night.